Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey TITTH number 150. I'm your host, Justin Bruni, but I got a couple of Nicks with me tonight. I got Nick Davis and my brother, Nick Olzak. Happy Monday, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good. How are y'all doing?
Good. Decent.
Can't complain. I almost forgot what day it was there for just a second, but it's Monday, so can't really get around that. But how was your guys' weekends? How are we doing?
Oh, man, I've just been working, and I've been really busy, got back into coaching, so with filming stuff for like YouTube, I call it YouTube filming when I'm talking to other people, and doing coaching and working. It's just been a whirlwind of stuff. Went to a graduation party, but was inside due to all the bugs, it was cool seeing people, but just been on the run.
Oh, Z, you got any cicadas out in Illinois?
No.
We're in like the hot spot for it here, man. They're everywhere. We were talking about it the other day on football. It's biblical, literally. Like I've used that adjective a few times now for the cicada situation at my house. Like I walk out the back door, covering the driveway. I walk out the front door, covering the sidewalk. I walk on my balcony. They're everywhere. They're trying to get inside. They're buzzing. They're making noise. I don't like them. I'm not a fan.
You know what I've noticed is that birds have been eating the hell out of them. And I'm just like, dude, like, go ahead, eat as much as you want. Like, do you want me to get you like some bird feed to like give you like an appetizer or something? I've been finding a lot of like cicadas like chopped in half. Either there's a psychotic person going around just snapping cicadas in half, or the birds are killing them. So either way, I'm okay, with them not being as plentiful. But yeah, it's pretty intense over here. Now they're starting to like ruin my car windshield because they just pop, hitting the windshield the entire time.
Yeah, if you drive by the woods, they're just going to be dinging right into you. We went to, like a regional state park by us, literally just to throw bags, because to the left of my house where I have a nice little yard or something, I can't do it. They're just all over me. They're everywhere. I can't do it. And even when we went there, wide open field, still getting bugged by everything, in the air. It was crazy. It was nuts. So yeah, they're playing a role, not just with birds, but like other bugs too. It's getting really annoying. But enough cicada talk. I mean, guys, we only get it like every 17 years. So I mean, we got to drop it in when we can. But yeah, the cicada threat over here is real. But let's jump into some of our games. Right now, we've got Boston and the Islanders just starting the second period. We are going to jump into that one live here in a bit. But before we do, we're going to go through some of our best props for tonight. I'm taking Carey Price on the plus 27 saves and Nick Suzuki on plus 2 shots. That parlay together, you're looking at like minus 222 from Price's prop. And from Suzuki, I want to say it's about minus 145, minus 122. So putting those two together, you're going to get pretty good odds. I actually did hit already Brad Marchand and Brad Marchand prop in this first game, but we'll get to that here in a bit. Where are you guys at with some of these props tonight? For the second game.
Well, I was going to say Price. I'm going to take the plus 33 because, man, Montreal has handled business after putting away Toronto. It's incredible how they've kind of like matured in the playoffs, and they're housing Winnipeg right now, which is very surprising. Winnipeg's got to do everything that they can to be able to stay in the playoffs because they're about to get swept. So I think that he's going to face a lot of shots tonight. Right. And then for shots for Winnipeg, I'm going to take plus 4 for Pionk. I think that they're going to try and get a lot of shots on goal, and they're going to try and do everything in their power. So for the Pionk plus 4, it's plus 246. And for Carey Price, the plus 33 is plus 167. So there's some good values there.
I like it. What do you got, OZ?
I was going to say, I think I'm probably going to take Connor Hellebuck on the plus 26 saves. Montreal's going to come in. They're going to be firing. They got a chance to put away the series. So I think he's going to expect to see a lot of shots. And you saw in the Toronto series, too, the way the Montreal plays their game. They shoot the puck a lot. They'll shoot from anywhere. And I think that that'll be evident tonight. And I think I was going to take Kyle Connor on the +2 for Winnipeg because he's been a guy who's been a little bit. He hasn't been like a standoutish player, but I think in a sweep situation that he can come out and perform.
Okay, I like all those. Those are good. Let's jump over to our Monkey Knife Fight props. If you guys haven't had the chance to jump on Monkey Knife Fight, please be sure to do so. It's an excellent place to leverage your player prop skills. And if you use our promo code to the Hizzy, they will double your deposit or match it. That is up to $50 at 100% rate. Check them out if and when you have time. First one up here, we've got Connor Hellebuck at 28.5 saves and Shea Weber at 3.5 total shots on goal and blocks. Where are you guys falling in there? It sounds like, OZ, you're already on the over for Hellebuck.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the over for Hellebuck tonight. I think, like I said, Montreal's, they're going to come out, and they're going to come out hot. They want to win this game more than anyone. And, yeah, I think Hellebuck's going to see a lot of shots, and for Winnipeg to pull out the win, he's going to have to make a lot of saves.
All right, right on. What do you think about Weber?
As of Weber, I was looking at some of his stats before the show, and I'm going to say probably the over on this one just because he's been shooting the puck a lot. I was looking at some of his stats. He's getting like 2 shots, and then one game he even had 5 shots in the series. And I think you combine that with blocks, and it's easy on the over if he keeps on that pattern.
Okay. What do you think, Big Nick?
Hellebuck on the over and Weber on the over as well.
So we all agree then. Yeah. Over for both. What were you going to say about Weber, Nick?
Just Winnipeg is going to have to be generating a lot of offense, and I think that the Canadians are going to have to generate a lot of offense on themselves to be able to combat that and stay within the game. So I feel like everybody's going to be getting their fantasy points tonight.
Getting their fair share. All right on. Let's jump into the preview here. It looks like we got one team going to the power play. I couldn't see who went into the box here. I'll pull it up in a second. First game up, we've got the Jets and Canadians. As we said, Islanders and Bruins have already started. Jets come in as road dogs, +1.5 on the road, +130 on the money line. Canadians looking to close it out. They are up 3-0, -160 on the money line at home. Over/under is at 5.5 goals. OZ, we'll start with you. Who are you going with tonight?
I think I'm going to take Montreal tonight. I like the patterns I've seen throughout the series, and I'm definitely going to take. I think I'm going to take the under on this. I think you're looking at probably a 3-2 game. That's probably what I see there. I think it's going to be low scoring, a goalie battle for sure, because you got 2 of the best goalies in the league, arguably, in Carey Price and Connor Hellebuck. So I don't think it's going to break that 4-2 mark, 5-3.
Okay. What do you think, Big Nick?
I'm going to take the Canadians. I'm very surprised that Toronto got, knocked out in the first round like they did, but Montreal has basically taken that and just steamrolled the Jets so far. I see like a 4-3 win. Not because the goalies are, I do believe that the goalies are the best in the NHL, but I don't think Hellebuck's been that good. And, Carey, I think that he knows that he needs to do just enough, like just stop one more goal than Hellebuck to win the game. So I see a 4-3 happening. So give me the over on the goals and the Canadians win.
It's really tough not to pick the Canadians, right? I mean, they've done everything right in this series. Winnipeg hasn't shown up. They lost Scheifele on that late hit at the end of the game. It was a wraparound on an open net. Didn't even try to play. Yeah, it didn't even try to play the puck. And you can just tell because like the guy, it was a tap-in goal. All he had to do was just throw his stick at the puck, and he could have still even made that hit, and it would have been more legitimate, right? But he doesn't even look for the puck. He just looks to kill the guy. And so he's still going to be suspended. He's going to be out tonight. It's really hard to like them. So while I'm going to stay like my own money, I am keeping it away from this game other than the under. And that's only because of desperation. Honestly, if it wasn't, an elimination game, I would probably be on the over. But because Winnipeg's facing elimination, I do expect them to, step up a little bit, at least the first half of the game. I think they're going to put on a good show, and then we could see some separation later on by the Canadians. The Canadians have been so just just odd to evaluate this in this playoffs. Like, first they beat Toronto, which none of us expected. No one in Toronto, no one in Montreal, I don't believe, expected that to happen. And they're just getting so much production from their back end guys. Like, if you look at their fourth line in Corey Perry, Eric Stahl, Joel Armia, like, they are getting it done. I think they have like 20 points between the three of them. Their second line has the next most points at like 17. So that just shows you like how well, they're producing right now. Armia, he leads the playoffs in shorthanded goals. It's only a couple, but still, like they're getting a lot of production from these back end guys. Their first line only has like 7 points between Denal, Gallagher. Like, I'm hoping to see one of those guys step up tonight. I was considering putting a prop in on Gallagher, but the production just hasn't been there. I was like, maybe I'll get some good odds because he hasn't been scoring, but I'm just going to stay away. My favorite bet in this game is the under for sure. The over, Big Nick has actually hit in 5 of their last 6 in the matchup. So the numbers are there to support your claim, but I'm just going the opposite on the elimination factor.
The one thing I want to say, like you were talking about how they're getting back-end production to Canadians. You know who also got really good back-end production last year was the Lightning. That's where I first saw Palat play, and I was like, who is this guy? Like, he's literally housing everybody. So, that's kind of like the mark of a good team. To be completely honest, I thought the Bruins were going to be taking it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I think the Canadians, I think it's their year this year in the East.
All right, right on. Anything to close that down, Ozzy, before we move on?
No, I mean, like you guys said, it's been a really weird. Montreal, like you said, is a weird team to evaluate. They're not like this hard, heavy offensive team. Defensively, they're fair. But at the end of the day, it's come down to Carey Price. He's had to make the saves when he's needed to and keep the puck out of the net. And same thing with Connor Hellebuck, too, on the other side. You even saw the other night there was a 1-0 game. Like, that never really happens in the playoffs. You see a lot more goals, a lot more production from a lot of those guys. And seeing those goalies go at it is really cool. But on the Montreal side, though, I think, like you said, a lot of those fourth-line guys have stepped up, like Armia and Stahl. And also Cole Caulfield. Coming into the league this year, he's been a really good addition to that team. Add some needed help to the forecheck, I think. And
he's on that second line that I referenced: Caulfield, Suzuki, and Tyler Toffoli. And Tyler Toffoli, he's the guy to answer the call, in my opinion. He's the one that's producing the most for this team right now. So Toffoli, pretty recent add to the team. Caulfield, who just came in at the end of the year, it's working. It's weird, but it's working.
Wasn't Toffoli in Los Angeles? Like, wasn't he really young when they won the cup?
I'm not sure if he was with them when they won the cup. I thought he was after, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. He's kind of got feel like a little bit of like a championship DNA, and I believe that his addition has helped them.
Yeah, I mean, on defense, they might be missing Jeff Petrie tonight. Did you guys hear about Jeff Petrie?
Oh no, that's my boy.
He's going to be he's questionable for tonight. I don't know if he's out, but he has dislocated fingers that he's going to play with essentially for the rest of the playoffs.
Light work, baby. Yeah. Light work is the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Light work. I love it.
I mean, it's not like he's missing his teeth.
yeah, he's good. He's good. He just needs to tape some stuff up, and he'll be fine.
Look at Chara 2 years ago.
Tape some stuff up. Yeah. All right. Let's jump into the live betting here for the Islanders and the Bruins. In just a few past few moments here, the Islanders went up 2-1. They are now the favorite on the money line, -173. Bruins are +137. And let's see, you can get right now the Bruins at +1.5. It's paying -279. For the Islanders to cover the 1.5, it's +203. So the books aren't betting on a huge gap here from the Islanders. Over under is at 6.5, and we are at 3 goals, almost to the midpoint of the game here. We're at 12:56 left in the second. What's jumping out at you guys here? What are you looking to chase live?
6.5. 6.5 seems really high right now for this kind of game. I know the Islanders just took the lead. I mean, I see a 3-2 game happening, if anything. I don't see that 6th and 7th goal happening unless there's absolute breakdowns. We'll see, but that's one number that really stuck out to me. 6.5 seems really high for this kind of game.
Okay. What do you think, OZ? Anything jumping out at you?
Yeah, I think I'm going with that 6.5. It's just something that kind of you think, can they really do that? Like, I think it's going to go the under all day. I think
Mm-hmm.
the second half of this game is going to be low scoring,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a big game for the Islanders because they go back to Boston next
No,
game.
they're in Boston tonight. They're in Boston right now. So they go back to home ice if they take home this win. Well, they go back either way, but
yeah. Well, a win tonight in Boston sets it up for a home ice win. I think this is a clutch game for the Islanders if they can pull it out.
yeah, absolutely. My biggest critique of the Islanders so far has been that they need to step up the power play. Coming into this game, they've only been 3 for 12 in this series. They did get that second goal on the power play, so that was nice. Maybe they even got the first one. I'm not sure, but when I was saying like, oh, we're about to have a power play here, that was the Islanders going to the power play. But they're actually getting outshot right now, 15-10, despite the 2-1 deficit for Boston. I'm going to take Boston live. I took them to win this game prior, and they just tied it up. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go.
Marchand.
I already hit the Marchand assist prop. The monkey knife fight prop in this game was Varlamov over 30 saves and Marchand at least 1 assist. So far, I've hit the Marchand assist. He just tied up the game for me. You could have had the plus 137, but it's gone. I'll get a line adjustment here in a second, but like I said,
I'm gonna take the over now.
Yeah.
And the over is at 7.5. We are updated on the numbers. The Islanders have now the under still?
No, the over. I'll take the over on that because that was a really quick goal. Like that was a real quick back and forth. So for me, like I feel like there's gonna be a lot more offensive output because I mean one of these teams has to get the lead in the series.
He got that trip on there, that little Bobby Orr flare. Yeah, get it, Brad. Good stuff. God, that line is just so good. The perfection line. Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak. Pasternak had the first goal, I believe. So they're just continuously lighting it up. So right now we're looking at the Bruins at minus 188. That's a big flip from plus 138. And we've got the Islanders now at plus 146. Anyone still believing in the Islanders? Mind you, they still were up 2-1. They've been playing very well, getting outshot now 16-10.
I think the Islanders will play admirably, but I still believe in the Bruins this series. Like Taylor Hall has been like a revelation in Boston. Like he's doing what he should have been doing in Buffalo. So I'm still going to take the Bruins, but the Islanders are going to be a team that are going to be competing in the playoffs, almost like how the Caps used to do it back in the day.
Back in the day, it's like a couple years ago.
I mean, honestly, it's back in the day, like when Ovi was like 30. I mean, they were always competing. But I'm really impressed with the Islanders. But it sucks they ran up against the Bruins.
No, I mean they're still in it. We got a 2-2 series and a 2-2 game.
I know.
Let's. I mean, it sounds like you're still with the Bruins to take the series. OZ, who's coming out here? We got 3 games left, 2.5 games. Let's call it.
Yeah.
Who's taking the series?
I'm taking the dark horse on the Islanders. I think they came in and they've showed the hockey world that they can compete, playoff team and compete. I think Barry Trotz has done a good job with that organization. He has the experience to bring his club far in the playoffs. And you look at some of the depth guys stepping up, like Casey Cizikas the other night, scoring that game winner. And one of the things I like to point out is they have the 2 goalie system going where they can play both goalies at any time and get a good performance between Sorokin and Varlamov. Because you remember back in the day when the Hawks won the cup and they had Crawford and Scott Darling. Yeah. That was a big thing for them, and I think that's been a big thing for this Islanders team going throughout the playoffs. And I think I'm going to stick with the Islanders to take this series. I'd love to see him go far.
Didn't Sorokin get his face knocked in Game 1 though? They lost 5-2, and that was the only game that Sorokin started, right?
No, he started. I think the whole first round.
Okay, I got you. I was just saying for this series in general. He started game 1, and Boston won 5-2. So it's kind of similar with Vegas. We'll get to them in a minute. But Robin Leonard started game 1 up against the Avalanche, got knocked in for like 6 goals or something like. I know they won 7-2. I don't know what or 7-1. I don't know how many he let in himself versus the backup or Fleury came in. But I feel like Sorokin's pretty solid. But up in a series like this, like you need your number 1 guy, especially with the amount of talent that Boston has. The reason why I'm not picking the Islanders to win the series is their special teams. I already gave them a knock on the power play, and they're just not producing on the penalty kill. They're one of the worst penalty killing teams right now in the playoffs, hovering around, 66% on the PK. It's like second to last or third from last. And the power play for Boston is just too good. The timely penalties could be a big factor in this series. Glad to see that they're getting a little bit more work on the power play. They're having some success, at least in this game so far. But they got to really tighten up on special teams. And I'm picking the Bruins to go to the final. So it's going to be hard for me to say like, hey, yeah, this team, the Islanders at 2-2, they're going to overtake them, and the Bruins are going bye-bye. So I still got the Boston Bruins in the finals. We'll get to the next round here in a bit. We're going to go into Tampa Bay and Carolina now. We are now officially at the halfway point of that game. We got a little possession by Boston here. Give you a quick play-by-play. McAvoy to Bergeron to Grzelcyk. And yeah, they're just going back and forth. It's about to get dumped out. All right, so next up we've got Tampa and Carolina. Tampa, wow, best in class so far in the playoffs. They're leading the series with Carolina 3-1 here. I'm assuming that we're all in agreement that Tampa's going to close it down and they're going to win the series. Any objection to that?
Nope.
Nope. Is there anything that you guys can think of that Carolina can do? I mean, when you're looking at Tampa, number 1 power play, number 1 in goals scored in the playoffs. They have a very deep core on defense. Like Jan Ruda and Eric Cernak are their worst defensemen of their 6. Like, it's really not that bad. I'd take any of those guys back on my Blackhawks in a minute.
Just stay healthy. Like I wouldn't want to lose like Aho in this series. And start off next season terrible. They should kind of just like realize that they kind of ran up against like a steamroller.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if there's something they can fix, again, similar to the Islanders, it's their special teams. They're 2 for 11 on the power play and 8 of 14 on the penalty kill. It's not very good in a series. And I get it. It's Tampa. And their last game, they had them on the ropes. They had a 2-goal lead, I believe, and they blew it. It was up. They were up 4-2, and they just took too many penalties. Bad penalties at that, just really lackadaisical, being too aggressive, whatever. I think Tampa was 3 for 6 on the power play in their last game. You can't be taking 5+ penalties, or giving up 5, advantages like that in the playoffs. These really good teams are just going to take advantage of you. So nothing that Carolina can do. I mean, that's really all I have. I mean, they have respectable defense. They play good 2-way hockey. They're not going to have a pure number 1 goalie walk through that door anytime soon. So,
yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, they're stuck.
All right, so pretty stiff conversation, right? Obviously, we're all in agreement here. There's really not much they can do. What do we think about Tampa's odds to make it to the finals? It sounds like we're all 3 of us are all in on the Bruins, but let's just say the Bruins or the Islanders. Who has the better chance of beating Tampa Bay in 7 games?
The Bruins for sure. I think the Islanders still need a little bit more seasoning, but the Boston Bruins, they got veterans top to bottom, and even their young guys, I've said before, are like veterans. I would say that they have a better chance of beating Tampa Bay. I'm hopeful that they are going to beat Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is going to give them a good challenge to have to get to the cup. Like, this cup's going to be earned for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's really just not fair getting Stamkos and Kucherov back. Like, that would have been the storyline all playoffs, is like, well, Tampa's good, but they just don't have like that, that knockout punch of talent, right? They're missing their guys, but with those 2 back, like, they get so much lineup creativity now. If you want, you can put, Point, Kucherov, and Stamkos on the first line, or you can throw Stamkos down on line 2, which was, I believe, they've been doing. On the power play, they throw Stamkos out on the point with Kucherov at the wing, Point and a lot, Andrej, Palat on the wing as well. Like, they have so many options. They have great defense. They have one of the best goalies in the league right now, and that's what just really just doesn't make it very fair. I like either option to honestly give Tampa a really hard time in the Islanders or the Bruins, because I feel like both of those teams play really good two-way hockey, and they have solid goaltending. I like Varlamov and I like Rask, but if I have to pick a team to beat them, I'm still going with the Bruins, because the Bruins are my pick to go to the finals anyways. If those two teams were there, I would still pick the Bruins in, series odds or series bets or anything like that, because I can get them, at very good value. Also to note on Tampa Bay, the goalies that they've been going up against, I like, and like in the Nashville series, I'm sorry, in this series, they've got Nedeljkovic, they've got Mrazek, and then in the first series they had Spencer Knight to close it out. And did they have what's his name healthy? Oz?
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky, yeah. Was he healthy the whole series?
I think so, and I think what ended up happening was they tried to throw in Spencer Knight, kind of as almost just a change up, because he had been undefeated in all his games. He played he got one. Yeah, he got one, and I think he had 37 saves in that game. And then, Tampa just got to the young kid, and there was nothing he could do.
Yeah, so I've caught on to it now. So they had Bobrovsky, then Drieger, then Bobrovsky, then Knight, and then Knight. And then in the Carolina series, they've got Nedeljkovic and Mrazek. So they haven't really faced like a pure number one goaltender. So I feel like Tuukka Rask and Varlamov could, set them back a little bit. I'm not saying that they're going to get swept or even lose in 5 games. I expect Tampa to push either team that makes it to 6 or 7, but I just feel like that'll be just another layer of defense that is going to create some difficulty for them. And I feel like they've kind of been spoiled a little bit with just playing teams that are having identity issues in net. So just something I wanted to add in there. I couldn't remember the listing on the goalies that they had faced, but I knew it was a bunch in comparison to Toronto. They only faced Carey Price. Winnipeg, they've only faced Carey Price, right? So different situations and different matchups. Anything else you want to add to that one, Oz, before we move on?
I think if it's Boston, either team, I think it's going to come down to the bottom 6 hockey. Whose bottom 6 is going to be better? Both sides have a really good top 6 that are going to match up against each other well. But it's that bottom 6 where you're going to get those depth goals from those guys that just chip in, get gritty. And I think those guys are going to be the ones that determine the series.
So whose bottom 6 do you like more? For Tampa, you're looking at Yanni Gourde, Blake Coleman, Barclay Goodrow. On their fourth line, pretty solid. Tyler Johnson, Patrick Maroon, and Ross Colton. And then I'll give you the Bruins really quick. I know the Bruins, they have Charlie, Coyle. Kuhlman is filling in tonight for Jake DeBrusk, who is usually on the third line. And then who's the other one? Oh, Nick Ritchie. His name was escaping me. And then the fourth line, they've got Curtis Lazar, Chris Wagner, and Sean Corrali.
Yeah, fourth line or bottom 6 wise, I think that third line of Tampa, that's gonna put a dagger in the series. I think that's gonna be a really hard line to match with. I think you're gonna have to try and match that line with probably Boston's second line, in my opinion, just so they can combat and be able to get something going against those guys.
Well, Boston's second line is a beaut with Krejci, Craig Smith, and Taylor Hall. They've been really getting it done, and they play pretty good two-way hockey other than like Taylor Hall. Like the other day he was trying to get into a fight. It wasn't that impressive. He threw a right hook and landed on the dude's visor. I was like, I like your spirit, bud, but get in the ring for a couple of practice rounds first or something. I don't know. Work on your shadow boxing because you're hitting glass, son. You don't hit the visor. That's how you break a hand. My God. They get some pretty good physical play out of Smith and Krejci at least. Taylor Hall obviously adding the offense to that line, but I'm really interested to see what the Bruins do with that third line because, like I said, they're sitting Jake DeBrusk tonight. He's had kind of a disappointing year, but if they could get him going, that'd be a nice little level up going up against a high-end team or high-end scoring team like Tampa. All right, let's move on to probably the best matchup so far in the playoffs, Vegas and Colorado. But before we do, please be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on youtube.com/Tag It to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, we got this series tied up, Vegas and Colorado. It's a beaut of a matchup. It's been great hockey so far. Colorado took games 1 and 2. Vegas has taken games 3 and 4. home ice is 1 out so far in this series. Who do you guys have winning this series and why?
You want to go first, Hizzy?
Yeah, I think as of right now, looking at everything, I'm still going to take the Colorado Avalanche to win this series.
Mhm.
I think defensively, they've had a lot of guys step up, like Cale Makar, Devontae, Ryan Graves. They've had a really stout defense. Offensively, you've got that line of McKinnon, Randon, Landeskog, and all the teams it seems like in this playoffs have had, or at least in the first round and this round they've had struggled being able to shut down that line. And then they also got some good middle six scoring from guys like Brandon Saad and Philip Grubauer's playing his role in the net. But yeah, I think Colorado's going to take this, but Vegas is putting up a good competition. You're seeing the goalies coming out. Robin Lehner playing the first game, trying to get Fleury arrested and work out. Then Fleury comes back in the game, back in the series, plays some pretty good hockey to say the least. But I think it's just not enough at the end of the day. I don't think I know Mark Stone's getting on the score sheet a lot, but outside of that, you're not really hearing a lot about guys just tearing it up on Vegas, kind of like you have on Colorado with McKinnon. Because I think at one point, Janmark was their leading scorer in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's out. He might be out tomorrow. Maybe he might be out tomorrow. And I don't think he's their leading scorer.
I just know at one point he was.
Well, he has 3 goals and 3 assists. Marcia Show 5 and 2, Mark Stone 4 and 3. So yeah, he's up there. And he may miss their next game. We don't know yet. Oh no! So I was going to tell you guys. The Islanders they scored another power play goal. They were up 3-2. They just scored another one. They're up 4-2 now. Wow.
My pick looks good.
Pick's looking good, yeah. Nick's over pick may be getting there too. I need some more saves out of Varlamov. He's got Boston now has 24 shots on net, so I need about 8 or 9 more saves. I think I'm going to get it. I think we're going to get there. But man, Islanders are looking good. They are looking good on the power play. On this last go around here, though, it's 5-on-4. One of the Bruins players, they broke their stick, so it became a 5-on-3 like that. And within seconds, the Islanders buried it in the back of the net here. We'll get to some more live odds here after we get through the rest of these. But Big Nick, where are you going with Vegas and Colorado?
I think Colorado is going to win it. We talked about it before. Vegas is full of glue guys, but they don't have like one guy that can definitely take control of the series. I think Nathan McKinnon is going to shine and end up being the X factor when the time comes and close out the series for them.
Right. So this series has just been neck and neck all year. In the regular season, 4 wins, 4 losses for each team. In the playoffs, we're at 2-2. So literally we're at 6-6 for the year for both teams, right? It's really hard to compare the two because they're very similar. They both start everything on defense. Right now, Vegas leads the playoffs in fewest shots allowed on goal, which is about 23 or 24 a game. They have outshot Colorado in this series by 54 shots. By 54 shots, they've outshot Colorado, which is crazy because Colorado's been an offensive powerhouse all year. Oddly enough, Colorado has still outscored them 13-11 in this series. Mind you, 7 of those goals came in game 1, for Colorado. So, you got to average it out a little bit here. To me, the biggest X factor in the series is going to be killing penalties or whatever, special teams again. It's kind of the whole theme of for me tonight, right? Right now, what is it? I lost my stat for it. In the last 2 games, Vegas has taken 11 penalties. Or I'm sorry, Jesus, I got an ass backwards. Colorado, last 2 games, 4 penalties. 2 games before that, 11 total. Key, Colorado, don't take penalties. Vegas, don't take penalties. If you take 4 more, the opposing team is just burying them. They're getting a lot more opportunity. Sorry for getting those numbers a little bit backwards there, but I still have Colorado taking it home. I just mentioned Vegas is out shooting them. Vegas is allowing the fewer amount of shots, but Colorado is still outscoring them in the series, and I just feel like they have that extra layer of offense. It's neck and neck. It's very close. I do believe it's going to come down to 7 games, and home ice is just going to win out in this one just because it's just that tight of a matchup. So sorry for the long-winded there. I should have just said Colorado's taking it, and that's it. All right, let's go in and do some of our adjusted odds for making the finals here. Right now, to reach the Stanley Cup Finals, we've got Avalanche and Lightning leading the way in odds, -125 and -115. Vegas Golden Knights +175, Bruins +225, Canadians +325, Islanders at +650. Carolina still in it, +1,600. Winnipeg Jets still in it technically, +5,000. To just make the finals, what's your best pick there? Odds, team that you like.
My favorite right now is actually the Canadians, +325. I think they're going to be a sneaky pick because the Bruins kind of I feel like people expect them to get there, and the Lightning is already a steamroller. So it's going to be definitely a battle, but the Canadians could be one to pull it out and reach the Stanley Cup.
All right, I like it. What about you, Ozzy?
I was going to say, I think whoever wins the Vegas-Colorado series, I think that's who's going to the final. I know it's been, like you said, it's been back and forth, but I'm still sticking with Colorado, and I'd probably have to go with the explosive Tampa Bay Lightning. I think
that hurts so much.
Seeing those two play each other would just be electric, I think, because you look at the way the season's been, those two haven't seen each other all year, and that's what makes the playoffs so special this year is that you get two teams in the finals that haven't played each other all year. They don't know what kind of hockey they play. They only know what they see on the tape. So it's going to be really interesting to see two heavyweights like that come into the ring with each other.
Oh, I'd absolutely love it. Other than the fact I didn't pick the Lightning to make the finals, but I'll enjoy watching it. What about you, Big Nick?
We're doing the second odds to win. I'm gonna say, give me Montreal again, +1,000
to win it all. All right.
I'll throw $5 on it. I thought Winnipeg was gonna be the better team if they came across Montreal, but that hasn't been the case, and I think that Montreal has caught lightning in a bottle. And that's how it kind of is in the Stanley Cup playoffs sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just, riding all the hot players, all the hot teams and everything. I think Canadians have a good shot. I mean, they've shown that they can stop, Toronto. They had a lot of offense there. It's just that Toronto doesn't have the same level of defense as Vegas and Colorado. So, but I don't hate it, especially with the odds. To make it, I'm going to go with Avalanche as well. And Avalanche. I mean, they're just my picks. I picked Avalanche to win the Cup. I picked them to make the finals. They have the odds favorite. I would say Boston, but now they're losing 4-2. It's not a great situation right now. Hopefully they straighten things out for me just for the sake of my own picks and my brackets and pools and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going Colorado. That's just been the drum I've been banging. They're still the odds favorite. So I'm just going to take that. Hopefully easy money. I do like the making the finals at the -125, really good value to win it all +175. I really don't hate it, but still got to get through Vegas. They still got to get through them here. All right, let's jump into some live betting, and then we're going to close down the show here. Right now, we've got the Bruins at +416 on the money line, down 2 goals, but they are going to the power play to end the period. I still like them to win it. I know I sound crazy, but Big Nick will tell you he's seen it before. I've called some of these comebacks here on the show. We're looking at a live goal total of 8.5, +1.5 to cover for the Bruins, meaning they only have to lose by 1 is at +103. That's the pick. They're going to get it. They're going to tie it, or not tie it up, but they're going to get it close here at some point. What do you guys think? What do you like?
I like that. The +1.5. I think they're going to lose the game by 1 goal. There you go. I mean, honestly, I'd put some money down on the over. Was it 8.5? I mean, anything can happen right now. We've seen 3 goals come across our screen since we've started the show. So the over and then the +1.5.
All right. What do you think, OZ?
Yeah, I like that +1.5. It sounds like it's been a close game, close series overall. And I'm still going to stick with the under here. That's just my take.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna pick the Islanders to win the game, I think the pick is the under. Because they'll just keep Boston to the outside. Right now we're on the power play. We got about 1:08 left, and right now Boston just literally passing it around. See if we can work up a shot here. I'm at 26 now, so that's 24 saves. We got to work on that prop from Varlamov. McAvoy from the point, Ripper, save, rebound, side of the net. Yeah, I mean, Islanders are doing a really good job just keeping them on the outside. And we got to fight. Let's go. Getting scrappy. Go. Love to see it. You have to see it. Right now, the +1.5 is climbing. I just mentioned it at +100. We're at +111 already. So I think there's some good value there. But, man, that +464 is just staring at me. Please, please. And they're sending Bergeron off the ice because he's getting some type of penalty at the end of the period. Oh, man, that backhander just right off the side of the net. Just a shame. You hate to see that part. All right. What do we got? We're closing it down.
Hold your Doge.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for. And buy some more.
AMC too. Hold your AMC too.
You getting rid of your Doge there, OZ?
No, I'm still holding on. I'm waiting for a brighter day.
It's gonna get real bright one day, I promise you.
I bought it a little too high, and now I'm paying the consequences.
No, don't worry about it. Like, that's the whole game. It's all mental. I don't know how much validity this is, but I heard that Dogecoin could be the currency inside of the new Grand Theft Auto. Do you know how many man hours are spent trying to get currencies in game? Like, it's incredible. So I think it could go to the moon, like they say. So
that would be ridiculous.
Or if it's in Grand Theft Auto, it's going to go to the streets.
It's going to go somewhere, but it's going to go up. I promise you.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Or actually, OZ is going to be on the show going forward here. So he's a new cornerstone of the show. So look forward to seeing him out here. Hope to see you guys back next week. We'll have a lot more updates by then. We'll be probably into the next round or so. So take care, be well, be good. And if you can't be good at it. We'll see you later.
See you guys.
See ya.